Human body is run by the human consciousness. This is a very important thing. And what is human consciousness? Where is it situated? Somebody said, where is the mind? And the usual answer in the conventional positive science is never mind. And somebody says, what is matter? No matter. But if you go into quantum physics, you realize that there is so much happening down there, below there. Where? Beyond the atom. And so the human mind or the human consciousness is present in every single human cell. And do you know how many cells are there in the human body? Any takers? 10 to the power 14 human cells. That is 100,000 billion cells are there. And millions and billions of them die every day and they are replaced by new cells. But the man is not the same one who he was, or a woman is not the same one who she was 3 months ago. She is a new woman. Including the bone is new. Remember that? Every cell changes. But what does not change is the consciousness. And if you can appeal to the consciousness somehow or other, probably you will be able to appeal to the whole human body. That's very interesting. Now, having said that, my dear friends, let me come to this disease called diabetes. Only yesterday, because somebody asked me to write something on diabetes, because I said diabetes, is this a week or something? Because there is a week for everything.
November 19th.
Huh?
November 19th.
November 19th, yes. Because in the West, things happen only by this way. There is a Father's Day, there is a Mother's Day, there is the Uncle's Day, Wife's Day, Husband's Day, because only on that day they think of their father and mother. Whereas in India, we think of them every day, so we don't have to have a special day. Anyway, now we are thinking of diabetes every day. So I thought, what shall I write? So I wrote an article called Autobiography of Diabetes. So diabetes is talking to you all. And read that, it will come in print in English, and also translated to Kannada, it will come in various journals. Now what I have said is, I am not bothering human beings. But human beings don't take their life very seriously. That's why they get into trouble. This is a very important thing. Diabetes is not a disease, but it is an abnormality of the whole human system. There is something going wrong, for which partly we are responsible, and partly probably our prarabdha is responsible. Very interesting. If you say, why does a man get a disease? Have you ever asked this question? Have you ever asked this question to yourself? If you say, how does a man get a disease? I can give you a discourse on every disease. How does a man get a heart attack? I know how does a man get a heart attack. And I think it's very simple. There is a pipe, it's like a toilet pipe which is blocked, and I replace it, I am fine. No, that's not heart attack at all. Those blocks are not very important. Except commercially they are very important, but they are not very important. But this is a very important question is, why does a man get a disease? There was a thinking physiologist in 1844. He was 42 years old and he became the professor of physiology in the Liverpool University. His name was Charles Sherrington. If any one of you have seen the physiology books, Sherrington's Law, Sherrington's Drum, Sherrington's this, Sherrington's that or that. Charles Sherrington was very young when he became the professor of physiology, but a very brilliant chap, and he was accepting his post as the professor and head of the Department of Physiology, and he gave this speech, I quote, "The positive sciences will never be able to answer the question why. They will at best answer the question how or how much. Ratio re, therefore, is not reason why. I can answer how does a muscle contract as a physiologist, but I'll never be able to say why does the muscle contract. I can tell you how does the heart contract, but I can't tell you why does the heart contract. For why, you must go to teleology, philosophy, religion, and what have you. And there is a teleologic view. I see a nice thing there written, nature protects every living being. I think this is a very, very pregnant statement. You imagine now, don't you read in the paper every day that diabetes is going to eat Indians up? Everybody will be a diabetic in the next 10 years. Haven't you seen that? Every day in the papers it comes. How true is it, do you think? Probably 2% true. 98% false. Because these are all artificial statistics engineered and produced by vested interests who want to sell their drugs. And this is done through so-called medical scientists whose research, quote unquote, is heavily funded by these drug companies. Do you want to know what the drug companies do? Not the Indian drug companies. They don't have that kind of money. The American drug companies, do you know what they want to do? They run the government of America. Do you know that? President Bush has much bigger lobby of the drug company helping him, 3 times the size of the lobby of the oil companies. Can you believe that? You know why he went to Iraq? To get oil. Okay, that's one lobby, oil lobby. But the drug lobby is 3 times more powerful. Don't believe me. I'm not. Read this book if you want. This book is called The Truth About Drug Companies. This is a fascinating book. Each one of you must read. The Truth About Drug Companies. How they deceive us, what to do about it, full stop. This is the whole title of the book. It's not written by an ordinary ass like B.M.Hegde. It's written by the former editor of the New England Journal of Medicine, who was the editor for 20 years. Before that, her husband was the editor for 20 years. So between the wife and the husband, they were the editors of the New England Journal of Medicine, which is supposed to be the Mecca of medicine in the United States of America, for 40 long years. Her name is Marcia, M-A-R-C-I-A, Angell, A-N-G-E-L-L. And this book is published by Random House, New York. And she has sold 1 million copies in 1 month and has become a multi-millionaire herself. She resigned the editorship of the New England Journal of Medicine because the journal owners changed the policy. Her husband had made a policy 40 years ago that anybody who receives money from the drug company shall not write an expert editorial in the New England Journal of Medicine. Now the management said 1 year ago, there is hardly anyone who has not taken money from the drug company. If you want to know how doctors are being paid by the drug companies, read this editorial in the JAMA, Looking the Gift Horse in the Mouth. JAMA is the most prestigious American journal. Looking the gift horse in the mouth. How from the 3rd year medical student till he is buried or cremated, the drug companies run doctors' lives. Anyway, if you don't believe anyone of these things, there's a very interesting book written by a doctor who resigned his job and researched to write it. It's called Overdosed America. O-V-E-R-D-O-E-D America. Instead of yes, it's a dollar there. Overdosed America. Do you want to know what the drugs do? The 4th important cause of death in the United States of America is ADR, adverse drug reactions. Do you know what the first cause of death? You want to know? No, you shouldn't know. Doctors' interventions. 2nd is cancer, 3rd is heart attack. Anyway, that's besides the point. Now coming back to human consciousness, nature protects every living being. The present high-tech Western modern medicine has been in vogue for about 100 years now. Of course, it was in the various forms, it was there for 5,000 years. From 100 BC in Greece, from Hippocrates. Hippocrates got it from Charaka, 300 BC to 400 BC, because Alexander the Great's army took the books to Greece, and actually the original Hippocrates thesis is almost a verbatim translation of Charaka Samhita. But anyway, it went through Arabia, it went through Europe, and went through so many things, and then ultimately came to the so-called West now in a refined form called quote-unquote science. Now this is very interesting. Now before that, mankind has been here for 900,000 years. 9 lakhs of years. Brahma's creation of this universe. Now of course there are proof for that. How on earth did we all live and become human beings now? If you think it's, diabetes is going to eat you up in the next 10 years, without doctors and medicines, you're all going to die of diabetes. For 9 lakhs of years, how did you survive without these menaces? It's because of that. Nature protects every living being. We were all very intuitive when we were born, but our intellect has completely nullified that. Your cat has a tummy ache. Which doctor does it see? Ayurvedic doctor, Unani doctor, modern doctor? No. It goes out to the garden and eats some herb. It knows. Cat knows which herb to eat. Have you seen dog eating grass? You have? Yes. When the dog has a problem, it knows which grass to eat. We also knew, but we have forgotten. Because we are daily brainwashed by the newspaper saying that diabetes will kill you, and if you don't believe in X, Y, Z drug companies, drugs, you will die.